Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Kevin of 19th Galaxy, and today we're going to talk about my acid trip. All right, so I'm out here in California right now. I initially came out here about 2 years ago, and I was in Northern California, which is Sebastopol in particular. Now, I ended up meeting some people that I befriended over the month, and we went to a Airbnb, right? So mind you, it's me, Zach, Sarah. I forgot this sister's name, but she braided my hair that night along with this Hispanic chick. And then there was a Samoan girl there as well. We was all kicking it on the farm at this Airbnb, right? So the Hawaiian girl, I feel bad I'm not remembering most of their names, but I only met them that day. Though I digress. She had acid, the strips. So she gave everybody a tab. I took one. About an hour into it, I wasn't feeling it, so I asked for a second, right? So after I took that second one, 30 minutes later, you know, I'm feeling myself. Everybody's like, let's go outside and look at the stars. Something in me was saying, that's the right thing to do. So we gather the blankets and we lay them out outside, right? And the first thing I do is look at the stars. So as I'm looking at the stars, I notice that, Big Dipper, Little Dipper, whatnot, it would blink, and then the other one would blink. It was if they were sending code, because it was in the same pattern. All these, same pattern. And I was telling everybody about it, and initially everybody laughed because I'm tripping acid, as they would say. But as time went on, I started noticing the stars connecting with a thin line, really fine. It was a bright pink, right? And once all the stars ended up connecting and my focus, perfected itself, I noticed that there was a grid surrounding the earth, and each little section resembled the flower of life. Now, if you guys don't know what the flower of life is, go check that out, all right? So I tell everybody that, and they laugh, but it's understandable. We're out here tripping acid. But I was like, nah, this seems legit. I'm gonna try to focus some more, right? So I focused more, and it felt like my eyes did like this, and it zoomed in even more. And when it zoomed in, I ended up seeing constellations that I've never heard about, right? I saw the outline of a Pegasus. Like, I saw the individual stars, but then the stars would, the lines would fill in from dot to dot. Then I'd see the Pegasus, its wings flapped, and it, when horses do that, I don't know what it's called. Somebody can correct me in the comments. But yeah, I digress. So I saw that, and I looked over to my left, and I saw a phoenix in the sky. It was the same star outline, and then those lines filled in, and you'd see the phoenix flap his wings and pause, and then it go back to normal. And I was telling them this. Now, mind you, while everybody was laughing, the Hawaiian girl, she was peeping game, and she decided to pull out her phone. The phone has an app on it that shows constellations. So she told me, point where you're seeing this. I point to where I saw the Pegasus. She puts her phone up, it pops up. I point to where I saw, the I'm losing my memory right now. That's funny. I point to where I saw the Phoenix, right? Boom, Phoenix popped up. At this point, everybody's paying attention, all right? So this is where things get really interesting. They was like, what else do you see? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna focus some more. My eyes zoomed in more. And all of a sudden, this rectangular light opens up and three ships come out. A mothership and two scouts on the side, as if they came at a warp speed. As it closes behind them, everything else out in space brightens up, and I see millions of ships zooming by. It seemed like some were, fighting against each other. That may be, why we have the Space Force. But I digress. So after that, I go inside. No, no, not go inside. We're still outside. They asked me to look around and ask what I see, right? So I look around on this farm outside, and I'm seeing the essence of all the farm animals that I was to believe that this lady that owned the Airbnb had, right? I saw the chickens all together, doing anything. I saw goats together. It was amazing. Like I saw the essence of them, and it was like a whitish gray. They were see through, right? So everybody then was, on point, shocked, wondering what's going on. So we all decided to go back in the Airbnb house that was just away from, the master house, as they would say. Um, so as we're inside, I noticed that everybody's faces started changing, right? Zach, I could see the muscles inside his face, but his wife, she grew whiskers and her nose turned into a cat nose, right? So mind you, I'm still tripping. About 3 minutes later, I'm sitting on the couch by myself. They're sitting on the other couch. This cat pop up. And so I'm thinking I'm tripping, right? Cat walks across my lap, fluffs his tail on me. It felt so real that I ended up doing this, right? So everybody was like, what's going on? I was like, this cat, I'm seeing this cat. And the cat went away. A couple minutes later, it pops back up and does the same thing. This time I tried to grab it and I felt it. When I touched it, I could feel it. It was crazy. And when I was like, it's this cat again, it's this cat again, everybody was like, wait, what kind of cat? Describe it. The cat, from my description, from my memory that I'm recollecting, was a jet black cat with white paws, and it had a swoop going up his face like this that was white as well on the left side. Now, mind you, when I mentioned this, the sister that braided my hair, she looks over to Sarah with her eyes bugged saying, Sarah, did you hear what he said? That was Sarah's cat that died 6 months ago. They showed me a picture 2 days later. I never knew about them having this cat, right? That was crazy. So they came over to me and sat by me because they had a feeling to sit by me like they was going to feel their cat's presence. And they hugged me. When they hugged me, I couldn't control what was going on. I felt another presence on myself. And they were saying they felt the presence of their cat. And then once they got to the point where they started crying, I'm looking at them like, this is kind of crazy. But out of nowhere, I started shedding tears uncontrollably. I felt like it was the cat of theirs responding to them hugging me, feeling that presence of their cat as well. It was crazy, Then after that, everybody went to their rooms, the night calmed down, the morning's coming through. The last thing I see is 2 dogs walking through the house, just sniffing around, a golden lab and a jet black one. It's pretty cool, right? So mind you, when we get ready to leave the next day, the lady that owns the farm, she comes out, and guess what walks out the house with her? Those 2 dogs I had just seen hours before. Mind you, I didn't see these dogs coming to this Airbnb. They were already put up. By the time we showed up, all the animals were put up. But when we got up that morning, all the animals were let out. And every animal that I had seen on my trip was walking around. It's crazy, right? I want to know what you guys think about that.